Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On 2nd down now, Aiken, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A nice run right there. And we talk this time of year about certain teams, certain players who don't have a lot of postseason history to speak of. And here's a man right here in his rookie season in the NFL, and he's being asked to carry the load at running back for this offense.
And he has acquitted himself nicely here in his rookie year. And look, I think we both believe that the burden's a little lighter on backs and receivers than it is on quarterbacks in the playoffs. But that's not to say this is going to be easy. As fast as the NFL game is in the regular season, it's like warp speed when you turn pressure up in the postseason. So let's see how he handles things early.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On play action, Lance on the move to his left. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Lance going to throw. This one brought in by Aiken. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though. And it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that third down, keeping the play, not the play, the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. He threw a little dump off to his back, and nice effort picking up the first down, though. And you're right. That opening drive, keep those chains moving.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. And just a yard to go here on second down. Again, it's Lance. Eluding the pressure right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Well, Charles, you talk about this offense, and you think about the man in charge, their head coach, this marking his first ever playoff game as the head coach, and you wonder what's going through his mind right about now.
Brandon, I think we both agree that he's had a great season, and we wouldn't be surprised at all to see him get plenty of Coach of the Year votes. I thought he took the right tone in his weekly press conference, though. Played it cool, took the reserve down, and when you don't have the track record, I think that's the exact right way to do it.
Lance to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message. Hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let him know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory, be aggressive. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance out to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Lance. Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions. Have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Lance. Escaping the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action here. Mon rolling to his left, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Here's Mon. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Oh, that's a big let off there on 3rd down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a 1st down, but for big yardage as well.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Javon Kinlaw, the big D tackle there to bring him down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Mon. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. But ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now Mon. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Mon going to throw it. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Allen, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Bond looks to throw. He's got Smith here. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20.
It's hard on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. He did after the catch.
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll go as a 42-yard punt. They'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Touchdown! A big play there. 66 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next. Double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
So following the hold. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second.
Ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mon. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Javon Kinlaw. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Third down from the gun, it's Mon. And that's knocked away and incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Play action, now it's Lance. He'll buy some time right, and incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Second and 10. Here's Lance to throw it. And able to find Aiken, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Lance looking to throw it. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now 21-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Mond looks to throw on first down. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On first down, here's Mond. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Mond. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, he'll drop to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Lance now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively a dime look, 6 DBs. From the gun, it's Lance. To the right side, and he's got more complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through. And the route is on. It's 24-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The 16 ticks remaining before intermission. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Mon to the air on 1st and 10. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now, because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
From the 30.
Matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think
on 1st down, Cook, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second down and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll try the left side. Aiken. And he's taken down inside the 30. 47 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the gun, he'll hand this off. He will push his way down to about the 14. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Aiken. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on what.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there for Minnesota.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Escaping the pressure right. And I think the ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off of play action. Here's Lance. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Aiken. And he stopped immediately there. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Working from the gun. Lance. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Lance. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you? And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple of fellas talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
And the 49er hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll run on first down. Aiken, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Lance. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
A 2nd down throw now for Mond. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 2nd down and 7. From the gun, here's Mond. steps away to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
Zero.
Mond's throw there complete to Allen. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Eluding the pressure right, and that'll be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
On 1st and 10, here's Mon. And complete right side to Cook. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Vikings go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
They'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. One of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
They go quickly here out to Moore. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A nice grab there for a guy coming off a terrific season, one that saw him have over 100 catches.
And when you have that many catches, that means you're a full part of the offense. And let's face it, he's been as good as anyone in the NFL this year. So it figures he's going to play a big role in whether his team can advance in the playoffs.
Rolling to his right, letting one go deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
On 2nd down, Aiken. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 78 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On 2nd down now, Aiken. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On 3rd down, Aiken. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by Lambeau is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Saying their fans here are stunned would be an understatement. Things in this wild card round have not gone according to plan. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mond, he's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 77 yards. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. On 1st down, Aiken. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Their coaching staff, they were pretty adamant beginning of the year. Our goal is to get to the Super Bowl. Well, they made it to the playoffs. That's part 1, but they fall a little bit short.
And to me, once again, it exemplifies just how difficult it is to not just make the playoffs, but to win games in the playoffs. So you can set your goals high, but if anything is off during that time, you have some key injuries or you just don't play well, you get a bad matchup where that team just has better strength than you in certain areas, this is how it ends. So I don't think it's a total loss of a season, but obviously didn't get where they wanted to go.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.